Hello and welcome back to one of our mini training sessions on Workbooks CRM aimed at existing Workbooks users or indeed anyone seriously looking at Workbooks as a new CRM system. And in this one, we're going to cover the leads feature in Workbooks and how it can transform the way you handle unqualified inquiries, unqualified leads. That could be exhibition contacts and those sort of early stage suspects in inverted commas that could clutter up your CRM space. If you've ever returned from a trade show, exhibition, and you've got a stack of business cards and no clear way to prioritize them, or hesitated to log incomplete inquiries for fear of muddying up your precious customer database, then this webinar is for you. In the next 15 minutes then, we're going to walk through capturing leads and what leads looks like and the options you've got in Workbooks, then scoring and segmenting those prospects, these suspects, to focus on what matters. And lastly, converting those leads seamlessly into opportunities, whilst at the same time preserving what you've done already with them. You don't lose any information, okay? So hello, my name is Tim Wilmot, and I'm joined by my colleague Stuart Lawrenson-Hind, and our company, Wizard Systems. We're a leading independent CRM solutions provider of systems like Workbooks, and we help out organizations use simple solutions to improve their sales, marketing, and customer service productivity. So thanks those of you on here live for this mini training session, one of our regular series of short presentations that we call 101 or Workbooks Wednesday, focusing on different topics. And this one, we're going to cover the leads feature. Now, the audio part of this call is one way only. If you've got any questions, pop those into the question section on your meeting control panel, and we'll do our best to answer those towards the end. Okay, let me pass over to my colleague Stuart, and he'll take us through the leads feature in Workbooks.
Thank you, Tim. So, as mentioned, sales leads, or the name that you use for records that aren't quite contacts yet, are looked after in an area that's kept away from your main contacts in your CRM. In Workbooks, it's just called leads, and there's a set reasons for this, and we're going to go through this as Tim mentioned. So, first of all, where did they come from? This could be as simple as someone just typing in a lead they were given whilst chatting to them on the phone, whilst being given a business card at an event. It could be they were imported from a list. We know that's easy enough to do in Workbooks. You can have a form on your website for visitors to complete that adds them automatically as a lead. And you could use the Outlook link. And when it hits an email address it doesn't recognize, it can create a lead for you. So, what is a lead record? So, when a lead comes into your system, you have the opportunity to capture some basic information about that person, who they are, their job title, what company they work for. Depending where this lead came from, these various options that I gave you a minute ago, you may already have some information about that person. For instance, if this contact came from website tracking, the website tracking information will be included in the lead when it arrives in Workbooks. And here I have some web insights that's telling me all about this person. I can go in and look at what pages they looked at, were they part of a marketing campaign. This allows me to then score this record, to qualify this record, decide is it cold, warm, hot, and you can then apply those to the system. Now in here, it could be as simple as the basic setup here. We have a pick list that I can control. I can select from here based on the information that I've got and based on the conversation that I've got with this contact going backwards and forwards. You could build on this and use a scoring system that gives each field that you see here a value. And then when a certain number of fields are being completed, it could change that rating automatically and help the salesperson to qualify that lead. So I mentioned Web Insights. It tracks the person's visit to your website And you'll notice this has already got scoring in place, similar to what I just mentioned, so that when a person visits your website, the homepage, and then goes and looks at products and services and maybe the contact us page, you've applied values to those pages in the background. 5 points for this, 10 points for this, 50 points for this. And at some point that can trigger this creation. So here we can see that this person scored 167 points based on the various visits to your website. And again, this all gets displayed. So you've got these leads, you've got web insights. So let's have a look at what we can do with where these came from and start to show what we can do with them. So,
and just to mention, so with these leads, you typically may not have a lot of information when you get that first inquiry. So deliberately, that lead form can be really, really simple. I mean, we're just showing an example here of a lead form. Of course, in your own workbook system, that can be tailored. You could have more fields, less fields, prompting the user for more information. But maybe you just get a person's name and their email address. That's all you may need to put in a lead record. And then obviously, as you're going through your normal salesy things, you add more information to it, you're qualifying it. So that could be building up that lead scoring algorithm, and the user could change it from cold to warm and then to hot and so on, before the conversion, which we'll come on to, before the conversion to an opportunity. Sorry, Stuart.
No, perfect. Thank you. So we mentioned about where these leads came from. We've got Alison here, and we can see that she came from a marketing campaign. So we know there's been a campaign running in the background. An email maybe was sent to her. She's clicked something and followed it and gone to our website to get this information. So let's have a look a little bit more in detail about this source material and where things have come from. And to do that, what we have is a very simple report that tells us these are the various sources that we're tracking. Again, it's a report. It's not the easiest thing to see, so I figured it would be nice and easy to make a nice, pretty and bright chart to show me where things are going. And I can see that nice values, that the campaign is not returned very much, an email blast did, websites, demo request is quite good, a trade show did okay, and lead scoring, lead purchase did okay. So for this particular demo database, it shows nicely segmented where all these sources came in, and we can use that in a moment to start to show things like where is the money going on these campaigns to get these leads, to get these customers.
And of course, you could filter that list on date range as well. So maybe the last 3 months, or the last quarter, or the last 12 months, whatever. There could be other criteria that you could impose on that. And that probably is, for a marketing person, that's going to be a top level metric that they want to know. If they're spending money on pay-per-click and website and offline and online activities, you want to know your basic numbers of where your inquiries are coming from.
Perfect follow on. Thank you, Tim. So to build on that, you can start to see now, going sort of following this, stepping back each time now, we can start to see, looking at where the leads come from, where you're putting your money into capturing these leads, and you can start to see this return. Now, we're putting money into these types of campaigns. Are they working? What's our return on this? And if we drill into this one here, just as a nice demo to show you, we can see that money was put into this. We can see the number of people that were a part of this list, see how many emails have been sent to them. And we start to see now this return on this particular campaign. If I go back to the overall, so you can see the values, and I'll just hover over it a second here. Well, we can see that how much was spent on it, what we hope to get from it, this was a simple report just to show you, but it's this return. The return is quite high. So this was a good event to do based on the amount of returns that we got.
And that can be difficult for some other CRM solutions out there to do. Workbooks has got a concept of a marketing event record as standard. So you can build in there your budgets, and then obviously as you're getting opportunities for that, and as you're hopefully then converting those opportunities to orders, that's going to give you a true ROI on those marketing activities, as sort of second top level key metric that any marketing person would need to know. You're spending £5,000 going to the NEC in June. How many leads do you get from it, and how much business did you get from it? So that, in a year's time, when the exhibition organizers are knocking on your door, you can actually see pretty accurately, with the help of workbooks, the ROI on that campaign.
Right. So we've looked at this information. We saw where Alison came from. We've been able to look back at the particular campaign or the activity that it took to get us to this stage. We've emailed this customer. We've spoken to this customer. This customer is somebody that is interested in what we have to offer. And so at this point, we decide that we don't want them as a lead anymore, that they should be converted now in our CRM to be a contact. And in Workbooks, this is really easy. So all I have to do is click convert, and this will start the wizard. Now I just follow the steps. Very, very easy. There's a template in place, but I'm just going to say for this one that there is no template. I do have the opportunity at this stage to say if I do or do not want an opportunity to be built whilst doing the conversion. So obviously you might want to build the contact first and the company record first, and then come back later and build the opportunity and the quote around them. I'll just leave that ticked for now. If there's anything else I need to change, I can tell the system whether to make a person, whether to make an organization, and the system will also prompt me. Here I don't have any duplicates, but just below the person record, if there was a duplicate here or a duplicate here, the system would tell me that there is someone in here with the same name or the same company. And so if it was another person at the same company, it would create the person, but associate them with that company. Here at Alison, it's brand new company. So I'm just going to say next. And now it drops me at this opportunity page, and I can now start to build this up. Again, it's already pulled through everything it knows about Alison from the other information, who's on this, what organization is on this, and I can build this up. I'm going to save and close this now because I want to finish this wizard. So let's just say I'm going to close this by end of the month. And that is it. Alison has gone. Alison is now in my system as a proper record. She's all qualified. I can now start to use her in my other marketing solutions. If she's got any products, and I've got reporting running, she'll be automatically added to mailing lists, and now starts to be treated as a customer in my system. And I've obviously got that opportunity that I can now build on and put together a quote and send it to them. So we've taken this lead from a website, spoken backwards and forwards, qualified them, converted them to a record, created an opportunity, and hopefully Alison will go on to have a long history with us. And that's it. That's why you have leads.
Thanks very much, Stuart. So as we saw there, a really nifty way, a separate area in your workbook system. So it's not going to clutter up your active contacts there, this leads area. And think about the ways that new inquiries come into you. Of course, people may phone you, a brand new email that comes in via your Outlook, but there is also the web to lead capability of workbooks that we have covered before on our Workbooks 101 session. So linking any of your web forms to workbooks for the input of that information, nice and easily and automatically for you. And also importing. So typically you might bind a list, but you go to a show and the organizers give you an Excel spreadsheet of names and addresses, easy ways of getting those into the system. And we covered lead scoring as well, manual ways of kind of rating a lead, or some automatic ways as well, applying a simple algorithm that we can explain to you in more detail to add points to those to those leads. And then some basic metrics, top level metrics, where are your leads coming from, and how much business, how many orders did you get from those inquiries? And finally, converting them. Hopefully they're not a lead forever and ever. At some stage, they are converted to, they're kind of promoted in the system. They're converted to a proper company record, organization record, contact record, and thirdly, an opportunity record. So you can then track more information about them. Right, before we dive into a little Q&A session around this, just to reiterate what we're all about at Wizard Systems. So we're a long-standing provider of different CRM solutions, including workbooks. As regards workbooks, we provide, well, we're a one-stop shop. So we can provide all the kind of help to get a system up together and running, the implementation, integration with other applications, the training, your place, our place online, and the ongoing help desk support as well. So anything to do with workbooks, please contact Wizard Systems. Right, questions then, Stuart. We have a question from Asanda. Can you include leads with your live contacts in the same report for a marketing campaign? Combination of leads and active customers.
No, sadly, no. Workbooks doesn't do that with its reports. So, like all the various entities within Workbooks, they're all kept separate. But you nicely mentioned marketing there. So what you would do is when you're building your campaign and you start to put together your mailing lists, you'd have a mailing list made up of contacts that hit a certain criteria and leads that hit a certain criteria, and you can pull those into the same campaign. So the campaign, yes, can take them from various areas. The report itself cannot.
All right. William is asking, pretty good question. How do we decide when to convert a lead to an opportunity contact? What criteria should trigger this? Shall I answer that?
I think that might be better aimed at you, I think.
I mean, that's a good question, and I guess you've got to get some kind of consistency into your organization and get agreement from the team about, assuming that you're not working on your own there, get agreement from the team when, what's the criteria when you push that button and you move them from a lead to a proper company contact or, as we saw, or an opportunity. I guess it could be down to that lead scoring, maybe, or if you manually move them from cold to hot, maybe, you qualified them. They are no longer a suspect. They are now a prospect. So going forwards, isn't it worthwhile tracking more information about them and making them more visible in your CRM system? There may be some workflow in place that might trigger that. It might be that after maybe an appointment or an online call, Teams meeting, that would be the trigger to then convert them to an opportunity. I mean, it's gonna, I guess, be different for every organization, but the essential thing is you get agreement with everyone about what part of the sales cycle would that be. It's not, you're not going to do it straight away. You've dumped a whole load of exhibition leads into your system and you suddenly then convert them all into active contacts. No, as you qualify them, and then when you hit that right stage, that's when you run that conversion process. So hopefully that has given you a bit more information on that, William. Nia asking, can we track ROI for specific events or campaigns using leads? How does the source attribution work? Shall I answer that again?
Sorry, that again, I think it was one aimed at you.
Can we track ROI for specific events? Yeah, I suppose you could. You'd have to track that in your campaign's records. It might require a custom field that we could report on, but that then would allow you to sort of compare the kind of lead to sale conversion rates across different events, and using that source field, I guess, also for more effective marketing feedback and analysis. Yeah, so it to answer your question, yes, but we'd need to look at the way. I mean, are you using leads right now? Are you using the leads feature of WordBooks right now? And you may require an extra little field in there just to allow us to kind of track that different ROI on specific events, or maybe it's types of events. So maybe offline events that cost you more money, you need a bigger ROI on those. Whereas online events, maybe being lower in cost, possibly lower in cost, you have lower ROI. I don't know. So yes, you could do that. We'll contact you near after this call to ascertain what you're on about and try and help you there. Right. Don't think there's any other questions there, Stuart. So thanks very much, the three of you, for those. Okay, wrapping things up then. We are on currently 7.4 workbooks. Do you fancy a CRM review there? Normally, these are free of charge. We run them on an annual basis with our customers, and we then try and review where they're at with workbooks, what they're trying to do the next 6 months, 12 months on their CRM journey, and come up with a kind of joint plan going forward. So please contact any of us at Wizard Systems if you'd like to, for us to arrange that for you. And Workbooks users out there, do you have any topics for future events like this? Something that would take, say, 10 minutes, quarter of an hour for us to cover that you think would be of interest to other Workbooks users out there? We'd love to hear from you. Anyway, those of you on here live, thanks very much for sticking around to the end. We'll catch up with you soon, hopefully next week, with another interesting Workbooks CRM topic. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.